Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into J.B. Priestley's classic play, An Inspector Calls. And we're going to explore how he uses his female characters to do something really clever, to build a powerful warning about class, gender, and the walls we still put up between us.
It sounds a little strange, right? But Priestley's play does exactly that. And he pulls it off with a brilliant bit of theatrical time travel. See, he sets the entire story way back in 1912, but he wrote it for an audience watching it for the very first time in 1945.
And this gap in time, this is everything. It's the absolute key to unlocking the whole play. Priestley basically weaponizes the audience's hindsight. He knows that they know what's coming. 2 world wars, massive social change, and he uses that knowledge to make us judge the characters on stage for their blissful and, frankly, cruel ignorance. It's a genius move. So let's dive into that. How exactly does Priestley use this historical setup to make a point about his own time?
Well, first off, he isn't just pointing fingers at a few bad people. No, he's putting an entire system on trial. He really wants to show his 1945 audience how the rigid social ladder and the suffocating expectations placed on women back in 1912 created a world that just crushed compassion. The whole story, all of it, revolves around one person we never even see on stage, Eva Smith. Her tragedy is the thread that connects everyone, and it all starts with the cold, hard reality of capitalism at the time.
I mean, that line from the head of the family, Mr. Burling, is just chilling. He's talking about firing Eva for daring to ask for a tiny pay raise, and that casual bluntness, so she had to go. It just reveals a world where a woman's entire livelihood could be snuffed out for just speaking her mind. Now, stop and think for a second. How would that line have sounded to the people actually sitting in the theater in 1945? You have to remember, the people watching this play for the first time had just come through World War II. They had seen women step up and take on these incredibly powerful, essential roles in society. So for them, hearing Mr. Burling talk like that, it wouldn't just be unfair, it would feel dangerously out of touch. And Priestley is counting on that shock to get his message across. Okay, so now let's look at the 2 main female characters we do see on stage, Sheila Burling and her mother, Sybil. They are like night and day, representing 2 totally different ways of reacting to the inspector's questions. Mrs. Burling? Wow, she is the old guard, through and through. She hides this deep-seated cruelty behind a wall of class prejudice and what she calls proper behavior. That quote shows absolutely zero empathy. In her world, poor women get what they deserve, and her high social standing is all the justification she needs. And then you have Sheila. She is the complete opposite of her mother. She is just horrified by her own actions, getting Eva fired from a second job out of petty jealousy. You can feel her remorse is real, and this line, this is her turning point. It shows she's capable of real, honest-to-God change. And this contrast really gets to the heart of Priestley's whole argument. By making them mother and daughter, he shows that this isn't just some abstract social conflict. It's a generational battle being fought inside the home. Mrs. Burling represents the past, a warning against that rigid, unfeeling world. Sheila, on the other hand, she is the future, a symbol of hope for a new generation that's willing to take responsibility. But Priestley doesn't let the men off the hook, not by a long shot. In fact, he shines a really harsh light on how the patriarchy worked back then, often hiding exploitation behind the mask of being a gentleman. Gerald Croft's affair with Eva, who was calling herself Daisy Renton at the time, is the perfect example. He paints himself as her savior, right? Her fairy prince. But let's look at what he actually does. He doesn't give her freedom, he gives her rooms, basically setting her up as a kept woman he controls. And the second it becomes inconvenient for him, he's out, leaving her in a much worse spot than before. And this is the gut punch of Priestley's critique here. He's forcing the audience to confront this sickening double standard. For a guy like Gerald, an affair is just a little detour. But for a woman like Eva, it's a one-way ticket to social and financial ruin. There was no coming back from that. Okay, so all of these individual acts of cruelty, all this hypocrisy, it's all building towards this powerful finale, where the play's main metaphor finally becomes crystal clear, and it's voiced by the one character who has truly woken up. That's Sheila, near the end, and she's pleading with her family. She's the one who finally gets what the inspector has been trying to tell them all along.
She sees that they can't just pretend their actions exist in a vacuum, separate from what happened to Eva Smith. It's all connected. So what is this wall she's talking about? Well, it's not made of bricks and mortar. It's built out of all those artificial things that stop us from feeling compassion for each other. Class prejudice, gender inequality, and just plain willful ignorance about how our actions affect other people. And this is Priestley's urgent plea to his audience. This isn't just some dusty old play about the past. He's practically shouting at them, look at the society that led us into 2 world wars. We cannot go back to that. We have to tear down these walls, accept that we're all in this together, value women as equals, and build a better future based on empathy.
And here's the final, really powerful idea. While Eva Smith is clearly the victim of this whole tragedy, it's Sheila's transformation that offers a way forward. Priestley is suggesting that real progress, real change, only starts when we, like Sheila, have the courage to look at our own mistakes and decide to be better. And that leaves us with a pretty provocative thought, doesn't it? One that makes a play from 1945 feel incredibly relevant right now. The Burling's world might be long gone, but those walls of class, prejudice, and ignorance, they're not. Priestley's question echoes through time and lands squarely at our own feet.